What's up, everybody? What's up, man? Another video here today, and it's gonna get it's gonna get deep in this one. Not even a little, but it's gonna get deep, considerably, right? All right. So first, I gotta say peace and love, man. It's a brand new day. I think for the next 4 days, we got nothing but nice blue skies, good sunlight. It's feeling quite nice, right? But deep down, as far as what's taking place, some people say it's up to mind and where you are, yada yada yada, and that could be true. I guess it is true, but to a degree. Now, some people may say, and it's the elders that really got all of this on lock. I don't think people know the real detriments of this so-called warfare that we're experiencing amongst humanity. Whereas it's a matter of what you know and who you know. Now, for y'all that's been following me, know that I've been on this growing progressive journey, and things have been transpiring in my life in accordance to what I put forth. That's why every time people ask me, yo, how you doing? Or yo, you good? I'm as good as could be. The only complaint I may have more so is, which is also a passion, is for the correction and justification of what came before me. Because I know I got my work to do too. I represent a bloodline. And I have to do my best to be, to become a progenitor, to become a successful figure, male figure in my bloodline. The true state of evolution is to do better than those that came before you. So when we look at the continual degeneration that's taking place here in America, because I don't think, oh, it's so deep. Listen, the UK have power. A lot of brilliant people over there, very intelligent. America and the UK is like brother and sister. So it is true that I think that, well, here's my general consensus on what's driving America. It is the African influence, the exploitation of our talents and our gifts been usurped and used and perverted to drive the American agenda. The reason why I say that is because just looking at the basic science of things, we're typically, for those who have more melanin within them, which is a direct link to the creator, which I spoke about already, I've mentioned before, you have to wonder and think, what is it that's keeping us from from properly uniting? There's unity out there. There is. But what kind of unity? The, the majority of the unity that I see out here is inheritably perverse. Whereas we became a product of the environment. And I even put a quote up on my Instagram where I said, I'm only a product of the environment due to what has been set out by the environmentalist. Now, the environmentalists could also be known as the elites. And there's nothing wrong with that word. I want y'all to know that elite is an elite. Elite is somebody that ought to be well respected and regarded and honored in measure. Only honor somebody if they're honorable. Don't get gullible and follow these scriptures and what the scriptures say. Because a lot of people quote these scriptures, don't even know what it really means. They don't even get into the depth of it to clarify and edify. Oh man. So it's like this. I'm gonna keep that out for the remaining of the video. Listen, basic science. If you got more melanin, being that the oldest bones was found in Africa, we ought to be doing better. So when I look into myself and I see what's taking place amongst other brothers and sisters of the African nation primarily, I know that there's something going on here. Everyone want to have a good time, don't we? We want to have good times with our peoples. We want to be prosperous. We want to be successful. Why? Because we're destined to be. Now, we got singers, entertainers, but there was a video where Malcolm X said he wasn't throwing no dirt on the great, wonderful, God rest his soul, Baba Dick Gregory. He mentioned his name. In the video, he said, you know, when you look at the leaders in the African community here in America, they are entertainers. He made a comparison. He was drawing a comparison as to the leaders that you may see in the Caucasian neighborhood of the Europeans. Are they entertainers? No entertainer can truly be a real leader. Now, you got to have extreme talent. Baba Dick Gregory was indeed a degree of a leader. See, and this is what has to happen. As we go back and hear the words of great women and men of renown, being that I mentioned the state of evolution, we got to know how to take what they gave us, add on to it, right? Like adding ingredients into a recipe and make it good. Because there was another quote by the great Malcolm X where he said in part that he's not so quick to judge people and, like rise to anger against people because there was a time where he didn't know better. So it's a recurring thing that we're going through within our society. I don't mind being edified. I'm not big-headed. I'm not egotistical. I am very open-minded. In regards to what I know today and what I dispense or disseminate is things that I gave thought to. I gave it time to manifest. I prayed to the Creator and said, show me. And as some things have become shown, and I try my best to move on it, only some progress is being made. Now, I'm not going to blame everybody or try to blame this person or that person because it's really based on what I am doing with what I have. That's like a tool man with a tool belt. He got the tools, but is he using his tools? Is he applying his knowledge with the tools that he got to make this and make that happen? So, trust me, when I say what I say, or I come to edify, I draw up reasons as to why this, that, and the third. I'm not trying to be, this guy that know it all, because because I'm speaking to myself at the same time I'm speaking to y'all. I'm just seeing what's really taking place out here, and it's so tricky that I know that the book says, by one man sin came into the world, right? And sin by wage, and death by wages of sin, which means using reverse psychology, which we ought to do in many factors, that by one man sin shall be washed, and a betterment, and not just the betterment. Actually, I find a better word where the purification, sanctification, consecration can come by one. But in order for that to prevail and to be perpetuated, it has to be acknowledged, accepted, and done forth by each person that receives the light. Do you follow? Our talents is continuing to be exploited, man. There's no reason why we have so many African men and women, and even though we represent up to 16%, this is the consensus numbers. We represent 16%, but that's maybe a small number here in America, but it's very powerful based on who we are genetically and how we are designed by the grace of the Creator. We got baseball players, basketball players, football players, guys that they put work out there. And that's how I know that there's something that happens when you step up in the world. Okay? I'm starting to get a lot of glare here. I'll back up a little bit. So, you know, and this is where this is, I know things are complex or complexed rather. But we gotta have the faith, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you. I just didn't come here on a crazy whim. And when I say come here, I'm talking about this place that I'm at mentally. And it's like, how could I, you know, it seems as if, because I see the games that's being played out here. I see how the Matrix work and this part and that part and da da da. But I want people to know something. If you don't have any followers, I ain't talking about Instagram. I'm seriously talking here. People that's concede to your saying, adhere to it, and follow suit. You're only gonna go so far. So when I take a look at the proliferation of what's taking place out here with all of those who has been compromised and feel like they can't be saved, they don't have the real faith. They're not willing to go through the hardship, which is funny because even when you got the money, it's hardship there. But I guess because of the money that people have, it makes it less, not less easier, but more. They can cope with things more. You can book a flight, go ahead. You can buy a car, buy clothes. Well, my heart breaks when I take a look at what's taking place in Harlem, which is the Mecca. And so Bronx too, being that everybody is going nuts off of this year, being the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Hip hop that gave a lot of us style. We had block parties, cookouts, this, that, and the third. for hip hop, but I don't really feel the spirit where it's like, yeah, this is us. This is African music right here. We started this. Yeah, we got the beat boppers and the little get-togethers and the gatherings, but the spirit is still missing. Especially when we look at the state of hip hop today. Follow me. You dig me? You see where I'm going, y'all? Like something's really missing. Now, I know it's so much more easier said than done. But I want y'all to know this. I've had it in my head where, in fact, I received a vision where it was like, look at me and how I'm doing it with little, but I know I won't be compromised. I won't be buck broken. I ain't gonna foul out. What if I had 10,000 people with me doing the same thing? Not living like a bum. I'm not a bum. Feel me on that. We all have gifts and talents that we're born with. Everybody, no matter what color you are. But aside from that, matter of fact, not even aside from that, because there's an inseparable nature where we ought to use our gifts and talents to really bring about love in the world, correction, justification. But take a look at the degeneration of what's taking place. Now, everything that rises has to fall. That's understood. But as I mentioned earlier in the video, when I stated that the state of evolution is to do better than what came before, it doesn't look like it. So, the whole algorithmic thing, that's cool. It's natural. It's just. But what I see and how I feel about it, and in addition to what I mentioned earlier about so many things being perverted and perversed, I know that there's something happening here in America where, in opposition of the righteous and their strength in numbers, that dark side is doing damage. Making things look good on the forefront, right? Can put on a new outfit, look clean and all that, but internally and spiritually is dead. You feel me on that? You get it? I want to try to take, you know what? Go around to these local parks. Not to mention, we got the Department of Environmental Protection. We have sanitation, right? We have so many governmental departments that's assigned to preserve what we have. Go out to the parks. Go out to the main streets where people shop. Take a look in front of these businesses and check the cleanliness of it, much less the inside as well. Because typically when you have a business, you're supposed to keep in front of your business clean. Because you are held responsible for that too. But you get help and assistance from the government on behalf of you having that entity. So I don't know why, especially in all the African American hoods or African hoods here in America, where we heavily reside throughout these states, why is it smelly? Why, when you look at our brothers and sisters, we're doing bad? Even if you got a Benz, you got a Lex, and you getting good clothes and all that, where are we going collectively? How long are we going to keep scamming and scheming? Now, I'm not saying you're a devil, you're a Satan, because as I mentioned earlier, everybody want to have a good time. Everybody want to be successful. Everybody want to be prosperous. How many people want to be righteous? so we can get to where we got to go. Don't mind me smoking here and there. I got my I got my seltzer water here. I got my lime, my lemons in the bag that I'm gonna eat raw, which is something in itself. Y'all know about the Alka Seltzer, right? So let me give y'all this real quick. I broke that down. And if anybody who been following me for quite a while now, they know I've been breaking down words ever since I was making my little videos when I started out with my channel, and when I was doing freestyle poems, and I was also posting, me in front. I was in a little spot, writing on my board and everything, breaking words down, which I still do to this very day, every day. So Alka Seltzer, Alka, alkaline, seltzer, Alka Seltzer, seltzer water. How many fruits out there is alkaline? That if you can put it with good carbonated water, you got your own natural Alka Seltzer right there with alkaline fruit and a carbonated seltzer beverage. Now moving forward. But how many want to be righteous to really make a difference? Render back onto Caesar's, which is his, right? Getting back to it. So I tell you, I think I've become polarized, and because I'm too honest, I'm too real, I'm too blunt. It really puts me at odds and variance. But I got a job out here to do. And everybody got a job out here to do. I noticed the agents out here, the so-called ones that's gone, that's under that, they just underdeveloped. They don't know no better, and you gotta tell them. And I think that's where you would be measured as a man and woman, especially us men. This is a man's world. We got work to do, and it's hard, man. It is difficult. We didn't grow up, my African brothers and sisters. We really didn't grow up uh, with the proper tools. We wasn't groomed to become who we are destined to be, and that's one of the main reasons why we are being held back, y'all. We have life now. We have breath while we're here. Let's do what we can with it. Put aside that ego. Put aside that ego. For those people in your community, is regarded as well respected and regarded as someone who is knowledgeable, who is upright. Those are the ones that we should yield to, team up with, work together. But because that's how I know Satan is out here doing work. Because how can we always say that black people are so loving? We have this, we have that, but yet we still don't have a black community, a black town, a black Mecca that's looking very prosperous. Yeah, we got entertainers that got houses, mansions, and all that, living next to one another. But let me not also, uh, let let me say that I know that we have to work our way up. Everybody got to work their way up. Everybody can't have with this person. You know, we all can't have the same. Well, I'll put it like this: a peasant or a pawn can't have what the king has. A pawn has to work his way up to it. That's order. There's nothing wrong with that. But to be a pawn and become perverted, distorted, mutilated, exploited, that's wrong. That's criminalistic. But hey, you see, I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna be out here trying to scheme or do anybody wrong to receive things in my life, especially when it comes to material things. Those things don't get me. It don't hold me like that. Beautiful women, I would have to say, women with voluptuous bodies, they don't hold me. I need this, sweetheart. If you can stimulate me here, you got me here, and then and there. Okay, with all respect, though. Two women right here. So you know, and let me go to say this too. I know some people may be saying, "Yo, you need to become more healthy." Well, we're all battling something. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm healthier than I was before. In part, I'm more knowledgeable than I was before, and that stands for a lot. Hey, which is how I know that there's something going on with the words that we speak. And in fact, this tongue. Dig me on this one. Everybody know that, we all say that words cast spells. True. Okay, right? And if the Bible, or being that the Bible has all the truth in it, let's say we're gonna go with that notion, then how come when we recite those words and we spelling it out, we don't receive the true glory? Are you following me? In other words, people know how to chant. When you meditate, you chant and you right? You're chanting. Chanting is great in prayer. Couple that with spelling out proper words, it ought to be a magical sensation within itself. So it just goes to show something's wrong here. Remember, I think we play with these words and what's going on. Scripture. Scripture is a word that has been made from ancient of days. Why? Because what was on a scroll was scripted and it became scripture. I'm trying to kind of like equate that with scrolls. Every language comes from somewhere, doesn't it? And people of that language have masters, right? Have righteous people, right? So when we recite these words and words cast spells, what happened? How long we been preaching Jesus' name, y'all? And look what's been happening throughout the years. Now I'm not trying to draw up a huge conspiracy. I'm not conspiring against nothing. I'm just thinking plain, like, whoa, I like to get to the fact. I don't deal with conspiracy. I don't deal with crazy skepticism. I like to deal with straight up facts. What's right and what's wrong? Let's get to it. Mm. And as I look to close here, let me end with this. I'm not looking to defend my European inheritable family here, but listen closely to this because we all have our challenges, and being that we got more melanin than them, I know they damn sure got their challenges too, which is why they go through what they go through on a scientific level and spiritual level. I know, which is far sensible to me, that there are some white people that do not like what's going on in the world, that they want to make a difference and they're fighting to make a difference, but they're going up against their elders just as we are. Some people may not understand where I'm coming from. I don't think y'all hear me. Well, where do white people come from? They just fell out the sky? I don't think so. Now, what would you do if you knew that your parents and ancestors was doing wrong onto the human race? Because we're all family. You're in a covenant. You're in a family, a bloodline, and you more than likely have to do what them elders say until you become into your own being. American law when it states that 18 is an adult. I don't think so. If you want to put it that way, well then fine. Or 21. We can go with that. But you're still going up against a dynasty, a covenant, a family. You follow me, y'all? You know how hard it would be to go up against your family? Which, in a way, when I was breaking free and gaining knowledge, I felt like something tried to put me at odds and variance against my own family. Where it was like I had them calling something, some thought I was crazy or skits. And I'm like, whoa, yo. So I know they got white people out there that they are obligated to do what they do, but they don't want to do that shit. They don't want to be the agitators. They don't want to be the wicked perpetrators, but they have to. Because if they don't, treason, mutiny will come into the picture. And as it goes for them, it surely goes for those who have more melanin. As above, so below. You follow? I know. But this is where, due to what has been taking place for years upon years, I've come to an understanding that although it may seem that we're going up against each other in our own inheritable families, because like I said, we're all human beings, we're all family. If I walk into a community of Mexicans, if I walk into a community of Asians, and there's a little tension there, we have some similarities because of the human nature, but yet there are also disparities. There are also there are things taking place within us due to different religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs and practices that we're set at odds. I guess that's why the book talks about enmity. So no, that's why it's so good to know self, because it'll become easier to know what's what out here and who's who, especially for those who got a lot of experience in life, where you don't deal with partiality. Hence, getting to know someone and making proper assessments, knowing who to build with, knowing who to have in your circle. Cause this thing goes deep. Now we could say what we say about white people, but I know one thing: they got their houses in order. Even if in that house they out here coming into the world being the propagators of the wicked agenda, they still got order. I'm not justifying anything here, but do you follow me? As above, so below. You ever saw them cartoons when you got the villains and you got the heroes? What is their agenda? But the righteous always wins. Righteous always wins. So, oh yes. And as I say this, and as I make my point, to know that we got good and bad human beings, it's all mixed. You got the light side, you got the dark side. I don't, and I wouldn't get involved with murder and none of that unless somebody's coming to take my life and I have to defend my life. We're all dealing with something here where it's like we're up against elites, the puppeteers, the masters, the illuminated ones. Please don't let no negative connotation follow what I just said. An elite, someone in the Illuminati, someone who's of the elite, they got knowledge, they got light of how the universe works. Now, if when you follow someone's reputation and they're doing wicked things, always let the record reflect. Everyone has a paper trail, and they're always doing. And it seems that there's more bad than good. Then they house and who they are as a being shall become of ill repute. Straight up. A lot of people out here think that I'm being fooled, but I'm not. I said it and I'll say it again. I'll be waiting for people to come and talk to me about some real shit. Open up. A lot of people go with the he say, she say, and this is a goddamn shame. I can't stand that. I despise that. I got nothing to hide, damn it. I done gave it up and said some real things on my Instagram and here on YouTube. Well, the party must go on and you know, the music gonna keep playing. And one more thing. Yes, this is what I want to finish with. Although I know we have our battles, and I've come to an understanding and understanding of who my European family is. I know that some people may think, well, how come you still can't get along with them or even like side with them? You know what I mean? Like, I can spark up a conversation with them, but it's only going to go so far. And that really takes a lot of work too. And you got to have so much trust and love within self and for them. Because they do come from a different, although they came from us African men, they are of a different nature. with all respect due. And there's something in me. It's not my lack of intelligence. No, but there's something within me that due to what has taken place over the years and we still don't have African righteousness. We still don't have proper peace amongst the African people. We still don't have proper institutions. Like we don't have our own powerful infrastructure that reflects who we genetically are, melanated beings. Being that we don't have that, something innately within me keeps me from being amongst them like that, or as I may want to be or seem to be, because I have work to do with my family to get my house and family in order. But that's tough as heck too. And all African people do feel quite entitled, being we, we know who we are, and we have a right to, but we have to temper that. We have to temper that because there are some people who is of non-African descent out there doing some real work. They out here doing some good works. And when I say good works, they have good nature, they have good hearts, they know how to make people laugh, they use their humor, and that's commendable. Yes, indeed. And with that being said, that's how I know I got more work to do to become more skillful. Because it takes a skill set to build with those who are not of your nation, which is why I've been paying attention to what takes place in politics. Pick it apart, and I guess really when that time comes for me and I'm doing better, that I would know how to run my house and build to have this, to add on to the light of the world. You feel me? I feel that I am disenfranchised, and being that I have my independence, there is so much to build upon. But here I am, where I am laying my foundation. I know I only can give to that which I have. And this has nothing to do with money. Same thing applies to you. Let the music go on, y'all. I pray for the world. Let's get this work done. Let's step up in righteousness. Clean that spirit. Cleanse your house to the very best of your ability. And as I say that, some people may say, well, look at him contradicting himself about cleaning the house, but he's smoking. Well, let me tell you this. Is your physical house where you live at your address, is it always clean? It could be clean, but you still have to find yourself doing a little dusting here, doing a little mopping here, Swiffer duster, wiping down, washing dishes. So some things will become dirty. Inseparable nature. I feel I am more clean than I am dirty. And if I'm wrong, well then I'm wrong in some respects. Because coming into the light, I see where it was like, ooh. I mean, even when I look at my feet, I know I got work to do on my feet. Even my gums. Feel me? I want to get it more pink. It's easier said than done. But it got to be done. These are mine. I don't got no fake teeth, no none of that. Shit. As far as I'm concerned, I got nice tea tree oil in my hair. I'm as natural as can be. I got the lemons in the bag. I'm going to bust that down. I'm going to enjoy that. After, with this seltzer water, I'm going to have my own Alka-Seltzer, like I said. That's that. Anybody want to talk subversive about me or got something ill to say? That's that. If I had a team, oh, oh, when I get my team, my circle, oh, it's going down. Oh, it's going down and it's going up. It's going up, down, and out. It's going around this motherfucking world wherever I go. Mm. But we have to know how to use discretion. I really wish I had my own spot so I can smoke in my own spot whenever I choose to. But I don't have to let kids see me do it. That's why I understand what the brother Cedric the Entertainer said in one of his jokes when he was like, "Yo, he was like, yo, it's like you gotta leave Earth to have a square." I get it, man, for real. Sometimes you just want to be in your own comfort, man. You know, I don't. Every time I have kids rolling by, I will put it down. Babies coming by, I don't like to have them see the smoke or have the smoke go through them. I can't stand to do that. But it's like, due to my circumstances, I succumb to the streets. Because here's where I'm going through my trials and tribulations on a whole nother level. I don't got no shelter. I go rest my head up in the at the airport. But I'm out here throughout the day. So some things are just going to be. What Jay said. What Jay said in his song, Reasonable. When the tension get too thick for my sober mind to cut through, I get the zone in. Take one more toke and I leave that alone, man. It got me going. Feeling it. So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't make no excuses for my indulgences. I know good and well what I'm doing. I got a lot going on. My cogitations are heavy. Until I continue to do better and get the help from those who are considerable Aelites. Peace, love, and light, y'all. Leo was there right here. Have a wonderful day and a beautiful night. Until next time. Peace.